Hi guys, welcome to the Premier League Punters, the time of the week when Flash, Big Man and myself are presenting our best tips from the weekend Premier League round 8 of fixtures. Natalie is not here. She had a baby last week. She will be missing a couple of weeks, but and we'll make our best giving the best predictions that we have on us. For sure that the international break affected some of the club teams, most of all in Premier League. Flash wanted to talk about that. So thank you guys, first of all, for joining me on the show. And second of all, Flash, tell us about what you have for us after the international break regarding the Premier League clubs.
Yeah, first of all, thanks, Alex. Hi, big man. The big thing is that after international breaks, you've got to really be careful with your selections and try and leave it as late as possible so you can actually see who's been selected and who's been put on the bench, as in they might be carrying a knot, they've not had enough time to recover, and secondly, long journeys. Now, obviously, it's not the same as the long journeys from days gone by because they get private jets, but there's still a massive time delay. So if they were back in their homeland, they might be sleeping at the time of a kickoff. And obviously, some teams have got longer times to recover. So I would be very careful. Try and make your selections after you know the players that are playing. Now, obviously, we also know that Mane is added to the injury list, so 6 weeks out for Liverpool. I think that's going to be very painful for them.
Yeah, and also Sanchez will have a long journey ahead of his match away at Watford. They were crushed. Chile is out of the World Cup, so Sanchez a little bit disappointed there. With Morata also included in the injury list for Chelsea that are playing away at Crystal Palace, but it should be an easy game for them. Anyway, let's start. We are sponsored by 888 Sports today, so all the odds that you will hear from me are from 888 Sports. And let's start with the clash of the round, Liverpool versus Manchester United. Liverpool at 2.75, draw 3.35, Manchester United at 2.65. Manchester United, of course, are the favorites to win this one. They will try to continue their winning streak, and they will want to stay there with Manchester City. Manchester City, who are playing home against Stoke, but we'll talk about that later on. Let's start with you, big man. Any surprises? We will see Liverpool winning against Manchester United.
I don't think so. No, I mean, Anfield has been a great place for them to play. Liverpool's been great at home, but the Mane injury is concerning. They still have quality attacking players. I mean, but again, he's been a big boost for this team this year, him not being in the hurts. But you also look at United. They're going to be without Pogba, Marouane Fellaini. They have some injury concerns themselves. The concern for me with United and backing them here, Liverpool is a team that usually seizes these opportunities. They usually play well against the big boys and struggle against the boys that struggle. But for me, I saw Man City get a defining win before the qualifiers over Chelsea. I think it's United's turn to get one of those as well here. I'm going to go draw no bet, Man United here. I think they win this match. I really do. I think it's time for them to really seize the opportunity as well, like City did. I think this is a big game for Man United. I think this is why we went out and got guys like Lukaku, to win games like this. I think to get the job done, but I'll take a shot with draw no bet just in case at 1.83. I just don't see them losing this game outright. Defensively, they've been so good. We know Liverpool has those problems. I'm going to go United draw no bet at 1.83.
I think that you should look for the best odds because I'm going for the same. One of my bets is the same, but I found it at 1.92. So 1.92.
Unfortunately, I only have one book I use overseas, so I only have those odds.
Yeah, so guys, check for the best odds on the market because Europe is full of great bookies, and you can use that 1.92. Really big difference from my point of view. 1.83, 1.92. But Flash, what do you say? Sadio Mane out for Liverpool, but Salah in great shape, qualified Egypt to the World Cup. He will be full of confidence coming to his domestic club, and I think that he might have to say something in this match.
I think that hurts him a little bit personally, but that's just my opinion.
What
That's
do
a
you
lot.
think?
That's a
Obviously,
huge
the
amount of
balance
pressure.
of the team. Obviously, the balance of the team is going to be crushed, if you like, because he's the most dynamic player, and now they are obviously going to have to use and go down the Salah route a little bit more. I mean, this is a massive game. I don't know if you boys really understand, but this is the biggest game in English football regarding rivalry. I know it's not a derby, but they are very close geographically. But this is the old guard who used to dominate the First Division, and the new guard that have dominated the Premier League. These are the two biggest clubs in England's history. I don't care what anyone else says. And I found two avenues for this game. Both teams to score and over 2.5, so I don't have to pick a winner. And the other, I think it was just that was a 2.1, I believe. So I like that because I think that they will definitely have a go. And over 2.5 goals was something like 1.89.
1.95. This is my second tip for this match. So
Yeah.
I have one from you, one from Big Man. I'm going for both of them.
Yeah. So basically, I like over 2.5 goals, and I like both teams to score and over 2.5 goals, but separate avenues. So if Manchester United go rampant and 3-0, which I can't see, I mean, I think this is a tight game, but I can definitely see a 2-1 or a 2-2. So they're the two avenues for me, and I don't care who wins.
So, guys, we are on the same page. Big Man with Manchester draw no bet, and I'm going for the same bet also. Flash is going for Alex Classic, both teams to score in the over 2.5. I think it's priced at around 2.25. I found earlier on the list of bookies that I have. And also for the single bet over 2.5 goals, which is at 1.95 right now. I think that it will be a game full of profit from Team Bankroll members from this show. Going further, we have an interesting match, which is a pass for me. I hope you guys have something for it because I don't have anything. Burnley versus West Ham. Odds with 888 Sports, Burnley 2.65, draw 3.2, West Ham 2.85. So I definitely will not play this match. It's a skip, it's a pass, whatever you want to say it. Flesh, do you have something for this one?
No, I don't. I mean, it's a pass from me. But the one thing I would say, and we have a saying in England, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So under 2.5 goals at Burnley home games, you're going to be coming up trumps eight times out of 10. So yeah, I would lean towards under 2.5, but I'm not going to get involved.
Yeah, the odds are low for the under 2.5. I was checking also that. I wanted to play it, but the odds are under 1.7, so it's a pass for me. But maybe Big Man has something for this game.
No, I don't actually. Burnley, I hate. I can't stand Burnley. I can't really ever get them right, so I just look to avoid it. I'm not a big fan of West Ham either, so for me it's a pass. The only concern on the under would be that West Ham is giving up more goals than pretty much everyone other than Crystal Palace, so it's hard to do an under there. But yeah, Burnley, I mean they've looked good on paper, but it seems like every time I back them, it's the week they don't look good. So for me, it is a total pass. Burnley, West Ham, dreadful match. I'll pass.
So, guys, it's a pass from all three of us, but a lean on the under 2.5, not our top tip, but if you like it, play it. If you don't like it, pass it, because it's a weird match to play. Like Big Man said, he never gets good with Burnley lately. Going further, Crystal Palace versus Chelsea. No Morata for Chelsea. Odds with 888 Sport. Crystal Palace at 8, draw at 4.6. Chelsea at 1.42. The question about this match, will Crystal Palace score their first match? Because I don't think that they will make a lot of problems. They will not create a lot of problems to Chelsea. They will lose this game, definitely. But will they score one goal, or at least one goal in this match? And maybe they will pull off the upset, but I don't think so. Big Man?
No, I would say no to both. If I'm Crystal Palace, I would, I'm seeing Wilfred Zaha may try to play in this game. If I'm them, I would just scratch and say, look, come back against Newcastle. That's when our season will begin, and we'll try to get back into this thing. I wouldn't risk that. They're not going to beat Chelsea. So to risk him, it doesn't really make much sense. To answer your question, can they score a goal? No. Chelsea's conceded just 6 goals in the Premier League in 7 matches. I'm just not confident. They haven't scored a goal thus far. Why are they going to score against one of the better teams in the group? I like Chelsea win 1-0 here. I don't think even without Morata, I still think they're a team that will win 2-0, 3-0 here. I'm going to go Chelsea win 1-0 at 2.2. Until Crystal Palace scores a goal, I'm just going to keep betting against them.
Yeah, Dale of 4 says that no Kante here, but either Drinkwater will not play, either Morata will not play. But even without these 3 players, I think that Chelsea will bounce back after their lost match against Man City last round, and they should easily win this game and put some pressure on Tottenham, on Manchester United further than that. Flash, what do you have for us?
I've got Chelsea in the absolute doghouse because I thought they were absolute morals to beat Man City last time. And Conte didn't play Pedro, didn't play Willian, played Rudiger, Christensen. What is going on? Bakayoko, no, leaving Chelsea. Chelsea on the naughty step, leaving them well alone. And listen, at some stage, Crystal Palace have got to turn up to a game. Now, I expect it probably not this weekend, but I'm Chelsea still in a doghouse.
Gosh, they're playing Crystal Palace, not Man City here.
Yeah, but the thing is that there was a massive statement of intent that could have been made against Man City, and he played 5 at the back, marking 1 individual. And I was screaming for Pedro and Willian and Hazard to express themselves and go forward and put this Man City side under pressure. And he never did it. He went negative. He took a backward step. Not for me.
I think that okay. I don't agree with you there. I'm taking Chelsea minus 1.25.
That's why.
Yeah, I was with Man City last round, and it was a winner tip against the Chelsea. But this time I'm taking Chelsea to bounce back after that awful game against Man City. And the win with minus 1.25 on the Asian handicap, 2.01 the best odds on the market. And I will give also a shout out to our friends, Big Igor from South Africa, Christian Benic, Dale 4, Kyle, Dario Moreale. Thank you guys for watching our show. Sean also. So I think that Chelsea should get the job done here and win the 3 points with Antonio Conte making a really good 11, starting with Michi Batshuayi as a striker. So, big man, what did you say you are going for?
I'm going with Chelsea win 0 at 2.2. And Alex, I do think before we get to the next game, I think it's important that we mention the fact that we're up about 18 units on the year, 19 units on the year actually. Here, Premier League Punters, 19.4 units of profit. We've done a nice job, and I think that's important to mention after a little bit of a break.
Yeah, of course. I think that the video team made a little mistake with 18 over 19.4, as you specified. Yes, 19.4. Premier League Punters only 7 weeks into the season, so we are really good after 7 weeks and prepare for more profit this week. Even though Flash said that the international break affected the Premier League teams, and not only the Premier League teams. Going further with my favorites, let's say Manchester City versus Stoke City, odds with Oddsmark with 888 Sport, Manchester City 1.17, draw 8.5, Stoke at an incredible 15 there. Flash, any surprise? No.
None at all. None at all. Play this how you like. I'm not going to get involved personally, but I can definitely see Man City winning to 0. I can see Man City minus 1.25. I can see Man City, half-time, full-time. But it's not a game that I'm going to get involved in. I've picked my spots this week. And the reason that I'm not going with some of these teams that prices are short and the value is not great is because Man City, nearly every single one of their squad have been away, and a lot of them have been far away. So for me, this is a week where I'm going to really try and pick my spot and go with value.
I understand. Also, I want to say to Jorge Maldonado that yes, we are doing this for free. We're giving free picks. So whatever you are seeing here is for free, and the profit is for free. So we are making you guys some profit, but we are making also for us some profit. In the same time, we are previewing before the show, and we are playing what we are saying, not like other people that are saying and they are not playing. Big man, what do you have for Manchester City?
Yeah, I'm going to go win the nil here for City, but I do want to point out they've given up 2 goals in the competition so far. They've kept 5 clean sheets. I don't think Stoke's going to go on the road and do much here, but I do want to point out I don't know that this is going to be a 3 or 4-0 win or 6-0 like sometimes with City. We have to remember, like Flash pointed out, a lot of these players are on international breaks, had to play over that time. They also have Napoli next week in the Champions League. I don't know if this is going to be that 4-0 spanking that we might think. I do think if I could get +3 at a better price, I'd probably be on that here. But 2.5 looks okay. It's just hard to fade a team that's 25-1 goal versus goals allowed over the last 7. I mean, you've allowed 1 goal in 7 competitive matches and scored 25. That's impressive. Stokes only has 1 point on the road, so they've not been a good road side. But for me, I'm going to go pretty simple here. A team that's given up 2 goals and kept 5 clean sheets, I'm going to go win the nil here. 1-0, 2-0, whatever. As long as they win the game, I don't really see them conceding. Their defense is improved. Win the nil at 1.9 for me with City.
Yeah, I'm going with the same bet, 1.91 with Bet365. I was looking also at Manchester City and the over 3.5, but I absolutely agree here that most of the players from the City squad have had long journeys ahead of them going into this weekend Premier League. And also, like Big Man said, they have Champions League against Napoli next week. So be careful because we are previewing also Champions League, also Europa League. Again, free picks for you guys to know you are not paying nothing for us to give you our tips. So yeah, Man City to win to nil at 1.91, the best odds on the market with Bet365 right now. Going further, another pass for me, Swansea versus Huddersfield. Odds with 888 Sports, Swansea 2.1, draw 3.2, Huddersfield 3.96. If it was to lean on a tip and on a bet, I would go with the under 2.5, but the odds are low, 1.53. So I'm skipping these odds. Big man, do you have anything for this match?
Yeah, I actually have 2 bets for this match. I think Swansea City is a relegation candidate. I think they're, to be honest to me, other than Crystal Palace, I think they're the worst team in the Premier League right now. This team has had trouble scoring goals, just 3 goals in 7 matches. And other than Crystal Palace, they've scored the least amount of goals in the Champions League. Huddersfield is hanging tough. They're playing great defensively overall. They've really surprised. They're going to get one of their better center backs back from injury as well, a Slovenian. He's going to come back, really going to help them here. They've been a good bet for me. I bet them draw double chance a couple times. I'm going to go back to the well with it here. I don't think Swansea should be a favorite. I just don't really get that. The fact that they're at home, whatever. I'm going to go draw double chance for Huddersfield at 1.83. I'm also going to go a half unit on Huddersfield straight win at 3.75. Swansea sucks. Give me Huddersfield.
So you're going stronger in this one. Nice job.
Yeah, I think we see a Huddersfield win, but I'll protect it just in case you see a draw. I'm just not sure I see Swansea winning this.
I understand. Flash, do you agree with Big Man there?
I can. The reason I can definitely see that he could well be a winner come the 90 minutes, but it's a pass from me because I can see Swansea winning 1-0. I can see 0-0. I can see Huddersfield winning 1-0. I can see Huddersfield winning 2-1. There's just too many variables. So I just can't put my finger and say, that's what I think is going to happen.
I understand. Okay, it's a good way to see a match. If you have a lot of options to bet on that match and you don't know with what to go, maybe the best choice is to skip it. And guys are guilty. Miko, yes, we talked about Crystal Palace versus Chelsea and Liverpool versus Manchester United. Flash said that Crystal Palace versus Chelsea is no bet for him, if I remember correct.
Yeah, correct.
And Big Man and myself went with Chelsea. Big Man said Chelsea win 2-0. Is that right, Big Man?
Yes.
Okay, and me, I went with the minus 1.25 on the Asian handicap for Chelsea. And the Big Man went with United draw no bet, as did I. And Flash with over 2.5 and both teams to score and the over 2.5 on Liverpool versus United. So next match, Tottenham versus Bournemouth. Tottenham 1.2, draw 7.5. Bournemouth at 13 right now. All the odds with 888 Sports. Tottenham playing again, not on their turf, playing in a neutral venue for them this year. What do you have for us, Big Man, in this one?
I think what we're seeing, we're finally starting to see Spurs play decent at Wembley. They've won their last 2 home matches, 1 in Premier, 1 out. I think this is the time they really start to do what they did last year and just pound teams. They've been beating teams into submission lately. I think a lot of people will mention it's hard to justify laying 2 goals at home with Tottenham, but I mean, this Cherries team is bad. I mean, they can't score, struggling to score goals. They've given up 11 goals in the process. And you have a Tottenham team that outside of the Manchester squads might be the best defensive team in the Premier League. I think this is a really tough spot for Bournemouth off the break. Form has seemed to be back for Tottenham. I'm going to go with another win to nil here at 1.95. I wish I could get minus 1.5 because I would absolutely hammer that bet. I could see this 2-0, 3-0, but I'm just not comfortable laying 2 just because I think this could very well be a 2-0 match. Tottenham, I think, is reinvigorated. Give me them win to nil. Another big boy win to nil, 1.95.
Big Man, I think that you should move to Europe because in Europe we have better odds for that win to nil. 2.05.
Alex, again, I just want to make this clear. I'm only using one book. I don't have other book options.
This is why I said that you should move to Europe. Come. We are offering you accommodation. Don't worry about that.
Hey, if you pay for it, I'm all in.
One of our friends is saying, main man Lou, I put a lot of money on USA money line. My bank is skirting from last night. This is why you have to look our videos and our team Bankroll. This is why we're taking care of your bankroll. So,
yeah, I've made it clear, main man Lou, that for many weeks and months, United States is a dreadful side. Again, I thought they would win truly as well, but I'm not sure why you're putting lots of money on USA money line. They're not worth it.
That means that main Lou didn't watch our previews on World Cup qualifiers. Okay, Flash, Tottenham versus Bournemouth.
No, I'm going to leave it, and now I'm going to give you a little bit of information here. I spoke to the Bournemouth assistant manager. Benica Fobi scored 2 goals the other night, coming back from injury in the under-23s, and Callum Wilson scored 2 yesterday in an under-23 game, and that's his 2nd game back in the last week, and obviously he's been out for the best part of 10 months. So they are now going to have Josh King available, Jermaine Defoe available, Callum Wilson available, and Benica Fobe available. So I'm going to actually leave this game alone because after having the conversation with Jason Tyndall, they felt that they were very, very unlucky at Everton. They should have spanked Leicester. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you that Bournemouth can go to Wembley and beat Tottenham, but spirits are a lot higher than the actual results have been showing. So I think that both teams could score here. I'm just wary. I'm just wary because I know that all the Tottenham players, every one of them, and most of them played for England, have had a couple of games. Whereas Bournemouth, hardly any of them. They've had like nearly 10 days off. So they're going to be fresh, sprightly. And another thing is they've got a lot of English or British-based players. And it's such a boost playing at Wembley.
They did wrap that up, though, fairly easily, though. Dele Alli didn't play in one game either. I hear you, The Flash. That's a great piece of information there as far as they're getting some new boys up, and but are they ready to play at this level is a question. They probably are. It's a great point by you. This is definitely not one of my stronger bets for sure, but and now that I'm hearing that, it's concerning. But if you want to be a really good defensive side, you have to clean sheet teams like this, and I'm going to stick with Tottenham. I don't want to, but I'm going to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just pointing it out and just making
Great
sure that
info.
people are aware that the Bournemouth can actually have quite good energy and from the bench. So what I'm saying is the boys could give a good hour and then bring on 2 fresh quality strikers.
Good stuff.
Yeah, so for you guys to know, Flash is not only one of the best pundits in the industry. He is also a former striker in Championship and in Premier League, one of the best of his time, and he has great stories, great connection. He spoke with the assistant manager from Burnmouth, so that's a great connection there. And thank you for the info, Flash. Appreciate really big information.
He used to play at Bournemouth. Bournemouth legend, Flash Watson.
Yeah, exactly.
I played for free. I played for no wages.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just because I said that if they give me the opportunity to get back fit after my broken leg.
Wow, he's true, Alex. It says Flash declined the offer of a new contract, explaining he was not fit enough or good enough to represent Bradford City.
That was Bradford, yeah.
Yeah, coming back from the injury. Yeah, I was reading that. I think that 2 months ago. Yeah, and after that, I asked Flash. He is true. Yeah, he's a legend, and he's on our show. So all the people that are watching us should be really proud that.
Listen, I've got to interrupt you. Never let the truth get in the way of a good story, because everything you just read there, big man, is every word that came out of my mouth, and every word of it was a lie.
I will say this, Alex, and I want to make this perfectly clear yet again. I do videos with a lot of people at SBR. Flash and you are 2 of my favorite people to work with. So I just want to point that out. Flash has taught me a lot about life in general, really. We've had good chats, him and I. I want to point this out again. All the guys that do soccer here, whether it's Mark or Martin Green or whoever, just great people, not only good cappers, but great people off the record. There's a lot of shady, weird people in this business, particularly in this country. But you got some of the best people in the business on SBR, on the soccer channels. Flawless stuff.
Wait, they are calling me from Tottenham. Say that Harry Kane will score 3 times in this one. 1 second, he's their manager. But no, I'm going with Tottenham and the under 3.5 goals at 2.25. I think that Bournemouth will not score in this one, and I think that Tottenham will not score more than 3. So 2.25 on that one. I'm seeing also 2.4 with Boyle Sports, but we are not using that bookie in Europe. Maybe in England, who knows? Boyle Sports is has a lot of clients in England, Flash?
Boyle Sports?
Yeah, you never heard of that?
Yeah. That's what I use 99% of the time.
Oh, okay. So 2.4 on Boyle Sports for Tottenham and the under 3.5 goals.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Okay, going further, finished with Tottenham, going with Arsenal. Arsenal on the road at Watford. Watford, one of the surprise team this season. They were destroyed 3 rounds ago, 6-0 by Manchester City. But after that, they bounced back, winning 4 points in their last 2 fixtures. So interesting travel from Arsenal here. It might be weird. I will not get surprised if I will see Watford winning this one. So I am staying away from the winners market. But what do you have for us, Flash?
I'm going with Watford. I'm going with Watford in 2 different bets. I think that Watford are 5 to win the game. I think that Watford are. I've been waiting and really picking my spots on Watford, and I've stayed away. I've gone against them. But in this spot at home, 5. They've scored 3 earlier on against Liverpool. I know they got butchered against Man City, and a lot of that was their own doing. But you give me 5 at home against Arsenal, who are still, for me, flaky across the middle of midfield. So I've got to be Watford. And I'm also going to go with Watford +1 at 2.1.
I'm sorry, I didn't specify the odds for this game. We did it at Sports. Watford 4.9, draw 4.2, Arsenal 1.65. So if you like how Flash is going, maybe you should go for Watford at 4.9, and maybe you can go also for the draw at 4.2. Seems reasonable also there. Big man, what we are going for?
Yeah, I think the international break was a horrible timing for Arsenal. I mean, they had really started to play pretty well. I mean, they're winning in Europa League. They had been winning and doing good things in their Premier League campaign. But this is what Arsenal does. They look good for a couple weeks, and now they get a break to just kind of ruin their mojo a little bit. It's almost like a basketball team that's on fire in the first half. Halftime comes, and it just kind of takes the wind out of their sails a little bit. Sometimes a break's not always a good thing. Now you got to go on the road and face a Watford team that has been really sneaky this year. Also, I think for Alexis Sanchez, I do think now he can focus on the Premier League. He's not going to be going to the World Cup, which will suck. But this Watford team also has been poor defensively. They've given up 12 goals. We also know Arsenal has a questionable defense as well. They're scoring a ton. I'm going to actually go with both teams to score in the over 2.5 here at 1.9. I think if you like Watford, why not take the over as well? I'm sure Arsenal will put some goals in as well. Give me both teams to score over 2.5 at 1.9. I think this is going to be a 2-1 either way. Wouldn't be surprised if Watford win. Wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal wins. I'll just go that they score here. This is a fun, interesting match.
Great minds think the same. I'm going with the Alex Classic also, 1.91. Both teams to score in the over 2.5. I think that Watford with Richarlison in such a great shape. The second in numbers of attempts away in his matches, 16 goal attempts. Second place after Harry Kane, Richarlison. Great signing by Watford. I think that he is a really good transfer for Watford. So yeah, both teams to score in the over 2.5, 1.91 looks amazing. Going further, we have Brighton versus Everton there. Odds with 888 Sports. Brighton 3.25, draw 3.15, Everton at 2.4. It's a pass for me. I hope you guys have something on that, big man.
Yeah, and I mentioned Arsenal having a bad spot with the break coming up with the way they had been playing. You can't get a team that needed a break more than Everton. I mean, this team had really fallen on hard times. They're still in those. They have no striker. They lost to Burnley at home, lost to Apollon, actually drew that game, should have probably lost. They don't have a striker, unfortunately, and I think it's going to hurt them. It's funny. I keep saying they get rid of their striker and get all these players, but now they don't have a striker, which is interesting. Wayne Rooney hasn't been the same player since that little stunt he pulled with that woman that wasn't his wife. But for me, I'm going to pass this game. I do think we'll see more out of Everton this week, and I kind of want to buy low on them at this number, but I just have trouble doing that. I think it's a pretty good price on Everton. I could see a 1-0 win here. You know what? I'm going to go with Everton. I'm going to go back to the well with this. I think they had a good break. I think that was needed for them. As Flash has discussed, Brighton's going to try to defend for as long as possible. I could see a good under come in here, but the number sucks. I'm going to go out and say Gylfi Sigurdsson builds off that Iceland momentous World Cup berth. I think he gives them a goal late in this game, and I think they're going to win. I don't want to do this, but I'm in profit, so I'm going to take a shot. Give me Everton at 2.3.
2.3, good, great odds. Flash, do you agree there?
I'll tell you what I do agree with, that Everton, nobody needs a win more than Ronald Koeman. He is under extreme pressure. I've heard from certain sources, very good sources, that he could well be out within the next 2 games. And that's weird considering he just spent the amount of money he's spent. You've got to look at this game and say, you've got a team that doesn't score goals, hosting a team that doesn't score goals. So everything points to a 0-0 or a 1-0. And Yeah, I can't go against big man saying Everton 1-0. I mean, they've got that little bit of class that sometime during the 90 minutes they will score. It's a pass from me, but I will be cheering on Everton because I like Ronald Koeman and I want them to do well.
And Alex, one other thing on Everton. I mean, like Flash said, there's such a class difference here. I mean, Brighton, if we look at the Premier League as a whole without any numbers, we could probably agree Brighton's the weakest team out of every team. I mean, they just lack a lot of good things. They can't score. They're Middlesbrough. That's what they are. They're a Middlesbrough, not even as good as Middlesbrough. They're not as good defensively. That whole sitting back crap, I mean, it'll work for a while. But Everton, like Flash, it's classy enough to get one goal here, save their manager possibly. Wayne Rooney's still in there against a team like Brighton. If they lose this game, I'm done with Everton. I'll make that clear. They'll be in the naughty corner with Burnley if they lose this game. But I'm going to give them one last chance at a really nice plus price.
And a really important matchup, I think, from this game is Leighton Baines and Anthony Knockaert. Anthony Knockaert is a front foot player. I don't think that he'll track Leighton Baines. And I think Leighton Baines will have something to say about this game. And I think he'll have a really important part to play. So I am leaning towards Everton. I'm certainly cheering him on for big man, and I'm cheering him on for Ronald Koeman and my old boss, Steve Walsh, who's the director of football there, who's in charge of all the buys, even though some of the buys I don't agree with. So, yes, a pass from me.
So great info again from Flash. And if you like big man's Everton to win, yeah, great odds there. And who knows, it might be a winner. If not, big man will put them in his naughty corner. Going further, Southampton versus Newcastle. Odds with 88 Sports, Southampton 1.88, draw 3.5, Newcastle at 4.4. Flash, I'm starting with you on this one.
Yeah, I like Southampton. I really like Southampton in this spot. I look at the two sides, and the first thing that jumps out of the page, Newcastle don't score. Newcastle do not score in this game. Southampton, the way that they all match up, you've got Van Dijk come back. He pranced around. He was probably one of the most assured players on the pitch last night. Holland versus Sweden. They gave Holland so much confidence. He'll do the same with Southampton. Southampton are desperado for 1, a goal, and 2, a win. And I believe that they'll get it. And I'm with Southampton here just to win. Whether it's 1-0, 3-0, just Southampton to win.
Excuse me, but Dale for saying Newcastle didn't have many international players away traveling, and that to the extra time for Rafa Benitez to prepare the team. Southampton going forward are poor. What do you say about that?
Southampton win.
Okay, sticking with your tip there, I cannot agree more with Lamia Saed. Under 2.5 for me in this match. 1.75 looks a decent price for the under 2.5. Cannot agree more than that. Big man, do you agree there?
No, I don't agree with Flash at all. Actually, this is him and I usually are on the same page, but I'm a little disturbed at Flash. I can't believe he's actually laying 1.83 with Southampton. How dare he say Newcastle doesn't score? Who doesn't? Southampton doesn't score. They're a terrible side.
No, I'm just saying they don't score in this spot.
I mean, Flash.
These units.
We also have to point out they have one Premier League win since August 19th. Actually, August 19th was their only Premier League win. They're just not any good. I mean, we could continue to talk about how they have Gabiadini and this and that, but they don't win. They don't score. Newcastle, I think, is a pretty solid side with John Shelvey, and Joselu's been a good signing. I think draw double chance looks pretty good here with Newcastle at 2. Southampton just doesn't win. I mean, I don't think they have the ability. I think a draw they'd be okay with, get a point out of it. They're just not a very good side. I know, Flash, this is your hometown team, and you can admit you're a fan. It's okay.
Yeah, but I can also admit that I'm coming off the back of batting Stoke to beat them.
Yeah, well, I mean, Stoke's way better than Southampton, I think. But yeah, I don't usually disagree with Flash, but Flash, you would agree at 2.3, Southampton maybe, but at 1.8, you're going to lay money with them.
Yeah, there's a reason they're 1.8. I think that they won't let a goal in, and they will score at least 1. Yeah,
this will be an interesting game to watch. This is the only one we disagree on, so I'm going to go with I'm going to go with Newcastle at draw double chance at 2.
I think that the Southampton are the kind of the team, if you are taking a look at their goal opportunities they created in the 7 matches so far, they could easily be in top 5. If they were scoring so many times as they had goals opportunities. But their lack of scoring makes me go with the under 2.5. Newcastle, they might not score either, so under 2.5 at 1.75 looks good also. Last match of this round, Leicester versus West Brom. Leicester at 2, draw 3.3, West Brom at 4.2, all the odds with 888 Sports. And I'm starting with you, big man, on this one.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to go with Leicester. They're actually going to be my banker this week at 2. They're another team I think needed a little break. Kind of a tough start to the season for Leicester City. I think this is the week they start to get back into things. They're kind of towards the bottom. They've had trouble with conceding, and they've been a little injured. Iheanacho's been injured. Ibora's been injured. Looks like they're going to be back. We all know they're a great attacking team with Vardy. This West Bromwich Albion team started to really just leak goals. They've given up 6 goals in 3 games. It's not going to be any easier facing a team in Leicester who can really attack. I think they're just kind of a team kind of lost right now in chemistry, what they're doing. If I can remember correctly, they usually just sit back and defend. All of a sudden, they're trying to attack, and they're just doing things that are kind of the opposite of what they usually do under Pulis. So I don't get it. I think on the road here, it's a tough match. I think Leicester really needed the break. At 1.95, or actually at 2. I'm going to take Leicester. I think they're the best play on the board this week.
I'm going to take Leicester also. Evens, we double our money. And I have a comment from Dale saying that Flash anyway likes to bet against.
He is
always
right there.
Likes to bet against Newcastle.
I can't remember that.
Swansea, West Ham, Stoke, and Liverpool all losing bets against Newcastle. Flash.
He actually flipped.
I'm gonna listen. He's right. He's talking facts, but I'm just saying in this particular spot. And yeah, he is 100% right. Newcastle, I've not got right so far, but hey, it's another week. Leicester, yeah, my nap of the weekend. Leicester, roll on Monday night. I'm 100% with Leicester. A little bit more information for you. Vardy dropped out of the England squad because he had an injection. He's been playing with a hip problem. So he had an injection straight after the last game, and he's had complete rest, and he'll be ready to fire come Monday night. So he'll be fresh as a daisy, and hopefully the injections work to calm down the inflammation. So for me, yeah, even money Leicester, help yourself.
Yeah, we are on the same page, all of us. 3 free bets on Leicester there at evens. Double our money with Leicester because I think that the odds are dropping till Monday. A lot of people are backing Leicester to win, and if they are not backing, they're crazy. Leicester should win this one, and if Flash gave us this information about Vardy, and he will be 100% playing against West Brom, for sure that Leicester will win this one. We are coming to an end, but before that, banker and double of the week from Premier League. We are talking about Premier League. This is why I said also to Delta, he was looking at Houston Dynamo over 1.5, but we are talking Premier League in this one. So banker and double of the week. Big man, what do you have for us?
Yeah, I'm going to go banker Leicester City at 2. I'm going to go with the double. I'm going to go Huddersfield draw double chance, and I'm going to go with Arsenal over 2.5.
Great stuff there from big man. Lamia Saed, West Brom are an easy opponent. You never know which team are easy opponents or no. Crystal Palace might win against Chelsea. A match cannot compare to another match. So nothing is for sure in this industry.
No, exactly. This is not, Alex, this is not La Liga. Do you know what I mean? Every team can beat every team. You know what I mean? It's not like Real Madrid versus Sporting Pub. You know what I mean? It's just not happening. So they're so much stronger. It's so much more competitive. And especially on the back of an international week, things can go wrong. But my nap of the weekend is Leicester. And my double is Southampton. and Manchester United and Liverpool over 2.5.
You're doubling Southampton, huh? Okay, let's see about that. So if Southampton doesn't win either in this round, you will take Newcastle out of your naughty corner.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, they've done really well. But to be fair, the Liverpool should have butchered them. Liverpool scored for Newcastle in the last game. Otherwise, I'd be sitting here saying that Liverpool would have won the game comfortably. I've been a bit unlucky with them. But Southampton have got to come good. They've got to finish their chances.
I think it's also important to mention, I mean, Dale 04, you make Newcastle out to be like the top team in the world. They're pretty poor overall. Dale 04 mentions how great Newcastle is. They're an okay side. I mean, let's be real.
Okay. They're okay. I'm not going Southampton minus 1.25 or Southampton minus 2.25. I'm just saying Southampton win the game.
Sure.
Well, I'm going with Chelsea minus 1.25 for my banker against Crystal Palace, and my double United versus Liverpool versus United over 2.5 goals, and Leicester to win their match against the West Brom. That's it for today. Tomorrow we are previewing the best bets, so from the top 5 leagues in Europe with Stuart and Martin. And till next week, thank you, Big Man and Flash, for joining me today. And I think that we will have a week full of profit in Premier League.
Thank you.
Cheers, Alex.